Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. When Mia and I hit our third wedding anniversary, everything seemed smooth. We weren't in any race to have kids. Honestly, we liked our freedom. Spontaneous weekends, late-night movies, doing whatever we wanted. Mia had a spark that never faded. She was funny, smart, and just reckless enough to make life interesting. There was one thing, though, that always gave her away. Whenever she tried to lie, she couldn't hold eye contact. I picked up on it early, back when we were just dating. She'd get nervous, glance sideways, and her hands would fidget like she was looking for an escape route. It wasn't a big deal. Actually, I thought it was kind of cute, like having my own built-in truth radar. That spring, Mia started dropping hints about wanting a real vacation. She said work was draining her, and she needed a total reset. Beaches, cocktails, the whole deal. I wasn't feeling it. I had a huge project due at the firm and couldn't just disappear for 2 weeks. Plus, beaches weren't my thing. Give me a mountain lodge or a city escape any day. One night over dinner, Mia set her fork down and said, "Maybe I should just go without you this time." I didn't love the idea. Her, beaches, bars, without me? It rubbed me the wrong way. But Mia smiled quick and added, "I'll go with Jenna. Just a girls' trip. Spa days. Yoga on the beach. Nothing crazy, I promise." Jenna was her best friend, recently divorced and still acting like it was spring break every weekend. I wasn't thrilled, but Mia looked so hopeful sitting across from me. I hesitated, then nodded. I trusted her. I had to. "All right," I said. "Go blow off some steam. Just don't end up on some reality show about party disasters." She laughed, clinking her glass against mine. "Deal." And that was that. At the time, I thought saying yes showed how solid we were. Looking back, it showed exactly how blind trust can make you a target. But standing there watching her pack the night before she left, none of that even occurred to me. I helped her book the flights, even tossed in some extra cash for shopping or whatever. She was buzzing with excitement, and honestly, I felt good about it. We were just two people who trusted each other without a second thought. I didn't know it yet, but letting her go was the biggest mistake I'd ever make. Mia left on a Wednesday morning. I dropped her off at the airport, kissed her goodbye, and told her to have fun. The first few days she kept in touch like clockwork. Selfies on the beach, boomerangs of her feet in the sand, videos of Jenna trying to surf and wiping out hard. She'd text me late at night, "Miss you, Jimmy. Wish you were here." I missed her too, more than I expected. The house felt too big without her laughter bouncing off the walls. Then, around day 5, the texts slowed down. No more videos, no more calls. I figured maybe she was just caught up in the fun, or maybe her phone had bad service. Still, a small knot started forming in my gut. One night, around 11, I shot her a quick "Good night, babe" text. It sat there on read for hours before she finally replied with a half-hearted, "Night. Super tired. Love you." It didn't sound like her. Mia always typed with little hearts or inside jokes. This one felt mechanical. The next morning I texted again. No answer. I called around lunch, straight to voicemail. I told myself I was being paranoid. Jenna was a handful. Maybe Mia was just trying to keep up with her. Maybe they were off on some island tour where there wasn't any reception. Still, that night, lying alone in our bed, staring at the dark ceiling, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. When she finally messaged 2 days later, it was just a blurry photo of some local market and the words, "Been busy. We'll catch up later. No miss you. No love you." I stared at my phone a long time after that, feeling that first cold edge of suspicion creep into my chest. Looking back, that was the moment I should have listened to my gut. But instead, I convinced myself to wait. Just a few more days until she was home. Then I'd know for sure if I was just being crazy, or if the ground was about to collapse under my feet. Mia got back on a Sunday evening. I picked her up from the airport, standing by baggage claim, feeling a mix of relief and unease I couldn't shake off. She looked good, tanned, glowing, a little too glowing maybe. She threw her arms around me like nothing had changed. "I missed you so much," she said, squeezing tight. I hugged her back, but something felt off. like hugging a stranger who smelled like your wife. On the drive home, she talked nonstop about the beaches, the food, the late-night bonfires. Jenna this, Jenna that. It almost sounded rehearsed. At home, she dropped her suitcase in the living room and let out a breath. "I'm dying for a shower," she said, already heading for the stairs. I stayed by the suitcase, hands in my pockets. "Hold up," I said, half teasing. "You didn't come back empty-handed, did you?" She laughed a little too fast. "Of course not. Hang on." Mia knelt by the suitcase and started digging through her clothes. As she moved things around, I caught a flash of something. New lingerie tucked between her usual clothes. Bright colors. Lacy, expensive looking. Not her style. Not by a mile. I said nothing. Just kept watching. Then she froze. Just for a second. I caught it. Her hand hovered over a little black bag tucked between her clothes. She pulled it out slowly like it might burn her fingers and handed it to me. "Here. Got you some local rum. Supposed to be amazing," she said, flashing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. I took the bag and glanced inside. A bottle of rum, wrapped in a cheap souvenir t-shirt with a cartoon dolphin on it. "Thanks," I said, setting it down. She laughed a little too loud, shoved the suitcase aside, and disappeared into the bathroom. I stood there alone in the living room, holding the bottle, holding the stupid shirt, and for the first time in my marriage, wondering what the hell my wife had been doing when she stopped texting me back. The next few days I tried to push it out of my head. I really did. Mia acted normal, almost too normal. She cooked dinner, laughed at my bad jokes, even suggested we have a movie night like old times. But the more she acted like nothing happened, the more I noticed the small things. Her phone never left her side. She changed her lock screen password. She'd get random texts late at night and flip the phone face down. One evening, while she was in the shower, I glanced at her phone buzzing on the counter. A name popped up. Brady, with a small profile picture next to it. Some tanned guy with a cocky grin. No shirt. I didn't know any Brady. When she came out wrapped in a towel, I casually asked, "Who's Brady?" Her whole body stiffened before she forced a laugh. "Oh, just some guy Jenna and I met on the island. He organized the snorkeling tours. Harmless." I nodded, playing it cool. "Right," I said. "Harmless enough to text you at midnight?" Mia frowned. "You're reading too much into it, Jimmy. Seriously." She kissed me on the cheek too quickly and disappeared into the bedroom. That night, while she slept beside me, dead to the world, I lay awake staring at the ceiling, my mind racing. The next day, while she was at the grocery store, I sat down at my computer and pulled up the resort's Instagram page. Photos, videos, reels, tourists laughing, staff members goofing around. Then I found it. A video from one of the beach parties. A bonfire at night, music blasting. There, front and center, was Mia, laughing, dancing, a drink in one hand, and Brady's arm slung casually around her shoulders. I recognized him instantly from the photo on her phone. Not some tour guide in a uniform. Shirtless, looking at her the way a man looks at a woman he's already had. Their faces were close. Too close. Like they were ready to kiss right there in front of everyone. I sat back in my chair, the blood draining from my face. It wasn't just a vacation. Mia had a whole other life the second she left my sight. And now she was lying to my face like nothing ever happened. That night after dinner, I couldn't pretend anymore. Mia was curled up on the couch scrolling through her phone, pretending not to notice me staring at her. I set my beer down a little too hard. "We need to talk." She looked up, casual. "About what?" "Brady," I said flatly. Her smile twitched. "I told you, he's just some guy." I cut her off. "I saw the videos, Mia, the resort's page. You were hanging all over him like a groupie." She set the phone down slowly. Her face went pale. "You're overreacting," she said, voice tight. "It was just dancing. Everyone was dancing." I leaned forward. "Dancing? You were 2 seconds away from kissing him." Silence. I waited, giving her the chance to come clean, giving her a shot at honesty. Instead, she said, "You're paranoid, Jimmy. You're making something out of nothing." And there it was, the lie. She couldn't hold my gaze. Her fingers were fidgeting, twisting the hem of her shirt. The same old tell she'd always had. "You slept with him," I said. Not a question. A statement. Mia's mouth opened, then shut. "No," she whispered. But her face gave her away, and I realized something deep and ugly. She wasn't sorry she did it. She was sorry she got caught. I stood up. "Pack your things." She blinked at me like she didn't understand the words. "Jimmy, please." "Now, Mia." She started crying, soft and pathetic. But I didn't budge. I wasn't going to let her sweet-talk her way out of this. 15 minutes later, she was stuffing clothes into a bag, wiping at her face with the back of her hand. She paused in the doorway, suitcase in hand, mascara running. "It didn't mean anything," she said. "I swear." I said nothing, just closed the door behind her, and locked it. The house was dead quiet after Mia left. I sat there for a minute staring at the door. Then I got up, turned off the porch light, and went to bed. The next few days were brutal. I didn't tell anyone right away. I worked, I slept, I worked some more. Anything to keep from thinking too hard. Then Jenna called me. "Jimmy," she said, her voice low and uncomfortable. "I think you should know. Mia's not doing great." "Yeah, well," I said, "actions have consequences." Jenna hesitated. She went to the clinic. She wasn't feeling right. They did some tests." I didn't say anything. "She tested positive for an STD, Jenna finished in a rush. "She thought you should get tested too, just in case." There it was, the final kick to the gut. Even after throwing everything away, Mia had managed to leave behind one last mess. I thanked Jenna, hung up, and sat there for a long time, feeling a kind of anger that didn't even have edges. It was just heavy. I got tested the next morning. Thankfully, I was clean. 2 weeks later, the divorce papers were filed. No drama. No fighting over stuff. She didn't even try to contest it. I heard from a mutual friend that Mia ended up renting a tiny studio apartment across town. Word was she looked rough, thinner, paler, quieter. The same friend said Mia was telling people it was just a mistake, a stupid vacation fling. Mistakes have a way of costing you everything. You think when someone burns your life down, it'll leave you wrecked for years. Turns out once you clear out the ashes, you've got a lot of space to rebuild. 6 months after Mia walked out, the house finally felt like mine again. I repainted the walls. I tossed the mattress we used to share and got a new one. Fresh sheets, fresh start. I even took a trip, a real trip, not a sad runaway mission. Mountains, not beaches. Cold air, big skies, nobody lying next to me pretending everything was fine. I spent the days hiking and the nights sleeping in places where my phone didn't work. Standing on a cliff edge, looking out at the valley below, I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. Mia tried to reach out once. Some long, rambling email about apologies and if only we could go back. I didn't answer. I deleted it without reading past the first line. A few weeks later, I went to a barbecue at a friend's house. Jenna showed up too, with her new boyfriend. At some point, I pulled him aside and told him quietly what really happened on that trip. Not to blow up their relationship. That wasn't my business. But if Jenna was planning more girls' trips, I figured he deserved to know what those trips could really mean. He didn't say much, just nodded once, sharp and grim. After that, I let it go. No revenge tour, no late-night rants. Just me, living the life Mia threw away better than ever. Sometimes when I think about it, about how close I came to tying myself forever to someone like that, I actually feel grateful. She gave me the best gift of all. She showed me exactly who she was. Before we had kids, before there were mortgages and soccer games and anniversaries stacked up like landmines. Better to bury the marriage than bury myself. And I sleep a lot easier now, knowing the next time I fall in love, it'll be with someone who knows how to hold eye contact when it matters most. Thank you for watching.